This movement we're going to demonstrate has the Chinese name Tai. Direct translation is pick, like picking the apple from the tree. Pick, or yank, or yank a person, yank, or a jerk of the person, jerk him. So we will demonstrate several examples of this. I get hold of Tom's hand. Now he is going to try to kick me to get out of the situation. Try again. The second movement we're going to demonstrate, the Chinese name is ben, or push. We're going to demonstrate two positions of push. One is the high position, which is the walking forward the brush knee move, high position push. The other is the middle position push. Actually, we call it the hollow fist punch. The middle position push. The middle position push in the martial art world has another name called the 1-inch punch. That name is made famous by Bruce Lee, and people are always talking about how to do it. If you go to YouTube, you will see a lot of the footage showing various ways of doing it. All of them are doing it in an external fashion. Here, with internal discipline, with the internal energy, how we do this 1-inch punch, and we're going to demonstrate first. I'm demonstrating this 1-inch punch. We use that terminology, which is really our hollow fist punch. Usually, you do it actually in contact with the opponent, because the name is a 1-inch punch, so we don't go out and hit. You can do that, but if you go coming in, you will not really punch until in contact, then you go. Jim is feel both my upper arm and the lower arm, both hands, to see how the power comes about through the punch. Okay? Before the punch, and during the punch, and after the punch, how the arm feel to him. Okay? Can you describe the punch, what you feel?
I can feel it come through the pad into me, and then it knocks me back.
Backwards.
I feel it penetrate through the pad before it actually hits me.
Right.
Yeah.
And is the force coming at you very quickly? Very quickly, right?
Very quickly. Like out of nothing.
Like out of suddenly.
Right.
So how do you feel on the arm when I make the punch?
The arm feels very relaxed.
Right.
Not tense at all.
Right.
Before you punch. At the second that your fist makes impact, there is a tenseness.
There's tenseness, right.
It tenses up just at that second. So
I
there
see.
is no tenseness prior to the impact.
And afterwards?
Afterwards, it relaxes
again. So just during that punch moment.
Just a very, very brief tenseness at that moment.
This is actually a general characteristic of Fa Jing. The true Fa Jing has to be that way. Has to be relaxed, and just during the Fa Jing, you tense up the arm so it can transmit the internal power through. Afterwards, you relax. the push at a high position is quite useful. Unfortunately, the 1-inch punch is not very useful during sparring because the power, because that 1-inch punch is disabling the opponent by internal shock or internal injury. So one really cannot use it in the sparring, which you may injure your sparring partner. The upper push is much more useful, which is exactly the same way as the 1-inch punch. You are relaxing, and suddenly the power comes from here to get the opening and then go. So we're going to look at another movement in the sitting posture, which utilize the slow delivery of the internal power. This movement, the Chinese would call the ji, or press, or squeeze, which is a quite useful kind of movement. For example, we are doing, say, like the push hand, okay? Now Tom is going to pull me. Again, I'm going to give him, loosen the shoulder, give him. And then, so this is a ji, which delivers the internal power at a much longer time period, right? You receive the power again. Or I can do this, which is like Jie de Ge at the loom. And this move is like grasp peacock's tail. Jie de Ge at the loom. Let me summarize about the facets. Facets is a delivery of internal power through the limbs, arms, actually sometimes the legs, to the opponent. Practicing Tai Chi Form with internal discipline cultivates internal energy, learns how to keep the body relaxed, and learns how to move the limb and the core as a unit to deliver the power. So form practice alone trains a person to gain the intrinsic ability of facets. The intrinsic ability of facets. That means the power and the delivery of the power. However, to apply facets onto an opponent effectively, you have to be able to pick the timing or to create opportunities. Now these you have to learn from push hands and sparring. Cannot be learned from the form alone. The form is train your intrinsic ability for facets, the power and the method of delivery. But the timing, create the opportunity, all these has to come from push hand and